Alright, we're getting fuel now. It is the, if you didn't see yesterday's video, here's the load, here's the tarp. We got about an hour and a half till we get there, which will put me around 6:45, 7 o'clock, so I'm going to be super early. But I'd rather be early, be able to get this thing untarped and rolled back up. And then we're going to take that. We got 2 drops today. So, all this stuff, everything good, everything works, no issues yet. Getting fuel now. We had enough fuel to get there. I think on a quarter of a tank, it said we had like 190 miles, and we only have 90. So it is about 5 o'clock in the morning. We'll be there around 7 o'clock, get her untarped, and good to go. All right, so we just made it to the first drop off. It is 7:17 in the morning. They don't open till 8, which is fine. I did that on purpose. Now, a ton of you guys have been asking me, can I do this with a single wheel? Do I need a dually, this and that, 40-foot trailer, you know, length and all that stuff. So I'm gonna compress everything into one thing. I'm gonna go get this thing untarped, and I'm gonna go over, my God. My phone be blowing up this morning. I'm gonna go over and compress everything into a, basically show you guys, okay, why do you need a dually? Because if you're gonna get into this industry, especially with a 40-footer, get a dually. Secondly, how to kind of display your load and where to put everything, and I'll show you exactly why the dually makes sense after we get into where we're gonna put the load on the trailer. All right, here she is. Like I said, it's just a little, you know, little load, nothing crazy. You definitely don't need a dually for this. This is just kind of like one of those, I got lucky, and since I'm local right now, I'm not super worried about, you know, stacking this trailer up, because we could have easily taken more. I think this load weighs maybe 500, maybe 1,000 pounds, something like that. So I'm gonna get this, like I said, they open the doors at 8, so I'm gonna get this untarped, unstrapped and all that, and kind of go through it and figure out what goes here, what goes to the next one, and then we'll go over why you need a dually and the importance of tire ratings and all that bullshit, and what happens when you don't run a dually and you get a blowout on an Illumi-Duty. So let's get this thing unstrapped and we'll go from there. All right, sun's coming out. It is bright as shit. I went to pull in, I couldn't see anything. So this is the load. They have them all individually noted, so I just got to figure out which one's which. Pretty sure, so that one's separate. These are separate, these are separate. So that one, this one, that over there, and then all this. They're all kind of like wrapped in their own little thing. I'm gonna get this tarp wrapped up because it's not very far to the next one. So I'm not gonna bother, and the weather's gonna hold out, so there's no rain. Tarp's ripped. I got this tarp ripped. You can see the tape that was thrown on it, so definitely have to get a new one at some point once I'm done with the lease on this. By the way, a bunch of you guys think I bought this thing. Guys, you are insane if you think that I paid that much for this thing. This is way out of the budget. Way out of the budget. Even if Hotshot was my main source of income, like, that's still a lot of money to spend right now. So, especially with everything going on. This is just a leasing the trailer, a couple weeks, probably 3 weeks total. Just happened to get lucky and everything is home, or I've been home every day. There you go. For everybody wondering, just a lease. I don't own it. I'm not buying it. None of that shit. All right, so now I'm gonna go over some reasons why. Okay, the trailer's a single wheel, but it has 2 axles. Now, why you want a dually, you guys can see. Let's go over, there is a rating on here. Max single load is 3,520 pounds, right? So 3,520, that means 7,040 pounds, okay, each side. So each of these tires, so that's 14,000 pound rear axles. You come over here to the truck, and I'll show you guys why this is relevant in a minute, right? So we'll come over here to the truck, and these are Ironmans. Looks like max load single is 3,540. Okay, so about 6,800 pounds is what we can legally have on this rear axle. Now, in a dually configuration, you see you have the tire ratings here. Max load in dual, 3,085.
So rather than it be 3415 times 2, you'd take 3085 and multiply it by 4, which gives you about 12,000 pounds. Now, why this is relevant, on a shorter trailer, it might not matter so much, but on this long trailer, you see how from that distance to right about there, that is a long distance. So anything in front of that axle, the majority of that weight goes on the truck. Now, why that's relevant, especially for non-CDL guys, and why you should still be running a dually, is like a load like this. A load like this, you know, this one's light, but on a normal load, you would be able to put this load all the way to the front on a dually and not have to worry about it. And now you have all this deck space in the back. Now on a single wheel with this same load, this is about where it needs to be. Now the problem with that is now you have this space and this space. So now finding another load is going to be difficult. Again, very relevant whether you're non-CDL, CDL, over the road, or local. It really doesn't matter. That is a lot of space in between, and it is very easy to overload these tires in general. As you can see, this is what kind of happened to this one, and the amount of damage that causes as well. But with a dually, you know, you can put a lot more of that weight over this, and with the dually, by putting more weight over this axle, you're taking weight off of these axles in general. You got to realize on these smaller trailers, especially these 7K axles, these are just glorified camper axles. That's basically all they are. They're 8 lug, yes, they're heavy duty, but they're still 7K axles. They're not the greatest thing in the world. Parts availability is awesome, whereas if you jump up to an 8K, they're a lot more durable, but they're harder to find parts. So that's why guys like these 7K axles. But you get the point. So these tires like to blow out a lot more than truck tires do. For some reason, trailer tires are just garbage. That's why a lot of guys will swap up to like 14 or 16 ply, but you really can't do that as a non-CDL guy because you're gonna cut into your weight. And you're very limited on weight. Those tarps, they're heavy. This 40-foot trailer, I think this thing weighs like 8,000 pounds, something like that. I'd have to look over here on the sticker, correct me if it's in between 7,500 and 8,500. Then you have the truck itself. It's like the dually, yes, it adds a little bit of weight, but the amount extra you can carry on the front makes that worth it. So that is the only part where I would say the stipulation as a non-CDL, you definitely want the dually. It is worth the extra weight. Everything else, you know, you want a 14K or 12K trailer. This, I'm not sure what this setup is right now, but generally a dually's 14K GVWR. The non-CDL guys will register their trailer down to 12K, and there you go. That's basically why you want the dually. Now, as for load placement and whatnot, I remember Alex saying something a while back. I remember Toe Piglet's old video on every 1,000 pounds the load is, move it back a foot. That was kind of a thing. All in all, with a dually, you really don't have to worry about that so much. With a single wheel, you kind of do. And the problem with doing that is, say I get a 5,000 pound load, you can't smack that thing right up against the front. 5,000 pounds, you're going to be moving it 5 feet back. Now you're going to have 5 feet here and however much in the back, and it's just going to throw you off for finding other loads. Now, obviously, that's not an issue when you're just pulling singles and whatnot. If you're local, sure, whatever. But I don't think I'm going to be home every day for the next 2 weeks. I do think that there are going to be days that I am out and I am sleeping in the truck. That's just the part of the business. There you go. That's my reasoning why you should have a dually, not a single wheel truck. Now, something else to mention to you guys, a dually is also going to give you room to grow. So you go from non-CDL to CDL, you're like, okay, all you have to do is upgrade the trailer as opposed to the truck. The truck you don't have to upgrade. And even then, you don't even have to upgrade the trailer yet. You can derate your trailer. So say you derated a 17.6 trailer down to 12K. Well, now you can add that back on, putting you at 32 something thousand pounds. Also, if you're a CDL guy running a non-CDL setup, and say you get a load that's too heavy every once in a while, you can actually get a temporary registration for that route that you're going on. Haulin' Cash, go check out his channel. He did a good video on that. I guess he's done that before as well, running non-CDL, and he has a CDL. So that's another benefit to the dually as well. You can overload the crap out of the trucks with this trailer. You're never gonna, I don't think you'll really ever overload the truck, but at that point you're at the mercy of whatever trailer you have as well. So The only time you're really going to overload one of the dually trucks, the new ones, is if you're running like a wedge and you have a car like way up front, or a van or some shit like that. You overload them, but that's about it. So there you go. For you guys, look at this sun glare in the back. So for you guys wondering, that's why pretty much I do recommend the dually. I'm running the 250 right now. I wonder. So you guys will see on here. Let's go. Front axle weight is 5,600 pounds, and then rear is 6,340. So generally DOT is never going to look at that for the axle rate. They're always going to look at the tires. So that's another added benefit. That's why I did the dually swap on my last trailer, because they never come in here and look at this sticker, other than for this little sticker right here, 10,000 pound GVWR. That is the only reason they look at that sticker right there, is to verify your VIN and to check the GVWR. But as for axle rating, so say on my last truck I had a 2500 with a 3500 rear axle. In the years that I ran that truck, I've never had a single issue with a DOT officer saying, hey, this is only a 2500. They were confused that I had a 3500 with a 2500 GVWR, but once they found out the legalities of it, they let me go because they knew I was right. Other than that, so 10K GVWR, what's this trailer? Hopefully this trailer's 16. Okay, so 13.7. So legally, this truck and trailer combination is 23,700 pounds. Now that also creates a problem, because this is, yes, it's a non-CDL setup, but if you get popped at 26,000 with a setup that's only rated at that, you're still overweight. Even though you don't need a CDL, you're still overweight, and you need to check that as well. So you definitely want to make sure you get your ratings in order. Now, the final question I want to answer for you guys is, how do you get your capacity? How much do you know? How do you know how much weight you can keep on this? So you have your truck, you have your trailer, and you have all your tools. Say there's tools, there's extra fuel, there's your tarps. Weigh this setup, okay? So say we're at, let's just assume this is 26,000 pounds, okay? You go and weigh this setup. Say it comes back 16,000 pounds. What you do is you take the 26,000 pounds that you're rated for, and you subtract that by what you actually weigh. So you're taking rating minus actual weight to get your capacity. Now, that's not where it stops though. Once you get your capacity, so we know we can put 10,000 pounds on this trailer, it's perfectly legal, but here's the thing, it's not if you don't follow each one of the tire ratings. And that's where the dually and the single wheel, like all this stuff comes in. You can put 10,000 pounds on the trailer, but those axles need to be under 12,000 pounds. And those axles need to be under whatever it is. So each individual axle has to be underweight, as well as the combination also has to be underweight. So if that's confusing for anybody, just send me a message down below. I'll revamp it for you guys if needed. But that is ultimately the information that I needed to give you guys, because you guys have been asking. So hopefully sometime this weekend we'll get this thing washed. I know I said I've been doing it, but if I'm home this weekend, we have some shop work, so that means I'll be able to bring this into the shop, park this, and we'll be able to get this thing all nice and clean. I want to clean this by hand. We have a pressure washer and some degreaser and shit. So I'd like to get this thing all cleaned up and not have to take it to the Streak and Beacon, because honestly they're just a little bit too expensive for what they do, and honestly I've never really been super happy with their work. So I want to hand clean this thing myself, get all the wheels cleaned and all that, and just ultimately make it a nice clean looking truck. Because I'll show you guys as well, truck is not deleted, super clean under here. Fuck the EPA, because they are a absolute joke. Well, the EPA is an absolute joke, because they push for these electric vehicles, which are no better for the environment than a typical diesel engine. Because with electric vehicles, all these idiots are doing is they're saying, hey, the vehicle's clean, but we're going to outsource and move the pollution over here. That's basically what their logic is. So all this electric vehicles and all these batteries and these lithium mines and all this bullshit, they still require fossil fuels to do all this shit. I don't know why I'm telling you guys that, though. All you guys understand that shit. But the EPA is just an absolute joke. And now they're cracking down on guys on Marketplace for having deleted trucks. Fuck the EPA. I hope the EPA is watching this, because you know, if you're part of the EPA, you are absolutely fucking stupid. I'm just going to put that out there. this DEF is so terrible for the environment. There is no reason for catalytic converters at the same time. It's like we could be making hundreds of miles a gallon out of cars, and we could have cars that run on water, but they don't make money off of that, and that doesn't fit their agenda. I was wrong. According to the paperwork, that's 4,000 pounds right there. Holy shit. All right, just got in. I believe it's these two here, yard metals. That goes to Bensalem. Those three go to Bensalem. Cool. We're gonna pull in now. They're gonna get me unloaded. I need a hard hat and should be good to go. All right, we're pulling out now. God, I hate pulling out of buildings you can't see in because of the sun glare, but it's not very far, so I'm not gonna worry about throwing the tarp back over it because it's gonna be a pain in the ass. We'll see how much time we have today. I got about an hour, oh yeah, a little bit. So we'll see how much time we have today. Hopefully we'll grab something going back home and it makes my day super easy. Also guys, this comes up a lot, and usually it's only the super truckers that say this. Anybody who says you need a CDL for a trailer over 10K, other than California, and that stipulation's only if you live there, that is not true at all. No state, I don't care what anybody tells me in the comments, I can look it up on your DMV site right now. I don't care if you're gonna tell me Nevada, Maryland, Minnesota, I don't care. No state requires a CDL for a trailer over 10,000 pounds. Not a single one except California, and that's only if you live there. If you are under 26,001 pounds, you do not require a CDL. So many guys will argue that. And then when they're wrong, they'll say, oh, well, why don't you just go get a CDL? Well, for the most part, a lot of these guys out here don't need one. That's why they don't go get a CDL. There's no requirement for a CDL at all whatsoever in a Hotshot rig like this. All right, we're here. I got my next load booked. Looks like we're gonna make it home tonight too, but we're gonna flip around right here because we have the room. There we go. Go through them double gates, go back there. Today's a fun day. It's gonna be an early day, so I gotta go pick up a check from the post office once I get back, and other than that, yeah, it seems like it's gonna be a pretty simple day. Our pickup is an hour and 15 minutes towards the house, and then we're gonna drop in Virginia tomorrow. So we're making that daily Hotshot. We're making it home daily. Making it happen. These damn offices are a clusterfuck. So, finally found a place where we're supposed to go. Oops, I think I left my key on it. Yep, don't leave that in the truck. I'm gonna get this load unstrapped a while, and then go from there. We didn't lose any pieces, all good. Yep, they're all tight. So I'm gonna get this unstrapped a while. That way when I back in, they can just take it off. So we're all unstrapped. I'm just waiting on them. Someone came out and grabbed my paperwork, so we'll see how this goes. Appointment was scheduled for 11 o'clock, but they did say that since the load's light, I might be able to get in here earlier. So we'll see how that goes, but we are picking up at, I have to check. Picking up in Collegeville, Pennsylvania, and then dropping in Manassas, Virginia. So should be pretty easy, I hope. All right, we're gonna go. We have about 55 minutes. Then we get to go home. That's gonna be pretty sweet. I get to go, wow, an early day. I've been working these 14-hour days. Oh wow, I get to go home early. And then tomorrow we'll drop in Virginia, not very far from the house. I think it's a couple of hours, probably 2 hours, something like that. So pretty sweet, pretty good week so far. Doing tarps this time, but we're doing 6 of those. Old Dominion. Oh, he got room. So, I know it was weird when they said, yeah, you need 6 chains and binders. I'm sitting here wondering what needs that many chains and binders, and then it makes sense. Something to do with coils. Getting them loaded down there. that's what we got. I guess 40 feet of it. Here they come. Looks like we're hauling, I think, 6 of those. Let's see how it goes. All right, here's these 2. That one's gonna go in the middle, and then we got 2 more behind it. Oh yeah. Should be relatively simple. All right, so I got these done. You guys see here, inside the rub rail. And then just working on getting this one. There we go. That'll be the last one. Just gotta chain it, binder it. Be home in 2 hours, and then we'll drop in Virginia first thing in the morning. It's like an 8 or 10 hour day today, so relatively short. No complaints from me. Just need to put that chain on the other side. But I don't know how heavy this is, but it's not squatting it too much, so I'm not gonna worry about it. There you have it. We're all tight. Now we're gonna head home. Remember why it sucks to have trailers. So I just got in here. These tires were all perfect. You can see that one's wearing on the inside, that one's wearing on the outside. Then we come over here. Mind you, I checked all this stuff this morning. This tire wasn't like this. This tire's a bit bald on the outside. And then this one's wearing on the back side. So, might have to take that in and get it looked at, but I got this load down in Virginia for tomorrow. I'm gonna put a jack underneath this and see if we have any play somewhere. I didn't catch this at first, but there's the problem. At least what I think is the problem. So this wheel's not centered, and that wheel is. All right, so what I'm gonna do, now that I'm filthy dirty from doing all that, I'm gonna take this home. I'm only a few minutes from home, not really a big deal. That tire's already wasted anyway. I'm gonna give him a call, see what they wanna do. We have a Fleet Pride next to us, but there is no way that load is gonna be able to be dropped tomorrow. So we'll see. Hopefully we come back at it, but I'm gonna give him a call and let him know, and we'll go from there. All right, so we're gonna take a look at it tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go check out Mudflap, link in the description. Anything to do with this trailer issue, whatnot, we'll go over it in the next video. Guys, if you're running a tandem 7K axle trailer, 14K GVWR, 12K, whatever, 40-foot trailer, it's just the name of the game, unfortunately. Now that I have a reliable truck, the trailer's broken. God, I don't miss that back when I was running my triple axle. But yeah, there you go. If you guys want to see the damage, stick around. Next video. This sucks. Having no truck issues, and then go figure. This is why I liked power only. Loved power only because, you know, you move a trailer on, you never had to do trailer maintenance. And if you did, you get paid for it. So, see you in the next one. Later.